From the Schmoes Know Network Studios in Los Angeles, California, it's time for Guilty Movie Pleasures. And now, here are your hosts, two of the guiltiest cats I know, Josh Macuga and Steve Simeone.
What's up, Schmoville?
Schmoville! Coming in hot today, Steve.
Yeah,
Feeling
Fifth
it.
Element.
Fifth Element.
Not one, not two, not three, but four, but five. Like King Kong Bundy on the pin count. Fifth Element.
You got to start off with the pro wrestling references, of course. Good to be back. We had a lot of fun last week. We said we were going to do Denzel Washington movie, but the only one that people wanted to see was Man on Fire. And according to the head boss in charge, Christian Harlow,
he said it's
not a guilty movie pleasure, so we weren't allowed to do that. So we reached out to some people. We thought a really cool, fun thing to start doing is to bring on guests, and they bring on their guilty movie pleasure.
Dude, I love that because I love hanging out and making new friends.
Yes.
It's probably my favorite.
And we have a friend of mine and a soon-to-be new friend of yours, Steve, is coming in today to talk Fifth Element. But before we get into that, guys, there are some problems with iTunes.
Oh, yeah, dude. Disaster City.
We don't know really what's going on, but somebody here to possibly clarify that? No? We'll bring her on in a second. We don't know what's going on, where it is, but when it is found, we will share the link. Go back, subscribe, rate, 5 stars, comment, whatever you can do. I mean, we had so many comments and good ratings that this whole conundrum has kind of messed everything up. So when that does happen, until then, just go to and watch it on YouTube, and we'll comment on as many comments as we can and try and talk to you guys. But we appreciate all you guys watching and tweeting and recommending movies.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's the best. And we thought, bringing the guests on so they can talk about their movies, and then that way you had never even seen Fifth Element.
Never saw it.
So the fact that we have such a lovely guest coming in.
Yeah, she's really pretty.
Yeah, she's very pretty. And she is a big fan of the Fifth Element, and she's also the co-host of Jedi Alliance here on the Schmoes Know Network. She's a beautiful Australian girl.
Yeah, she looks like she could be one of Kill Bill's assassins.
Yeah, she does look like that.
It's the Aussie Viper. Uh-oh, the koala's here. No! I'm a marsupial, bitch. Like, that's her. You know what I mean?
Chewing
I'm not a bear. I'm a marsupial.
That's her. That is her go-to.
And you know she has a knife.
Yes.
Like a Crocodile Dundee knife.
Somewhere on her person. She's an assassin, legit. The best video gamer I know. And
really?
And all around love.
And she's a girl.
And she's a girl.
I just said that because people are going to be like, how dare you? It was just a goof, dudes.
Just a goof. Ladies and gentlemen, Maud Garrett!
Then there's more! Then there's more! Hi, Maud.
Hi, Maud.
Hey, how are you guys?
Awesome.
Maud, what would the name of your TV show be again?
And then there's more, and then there's more. Well, now it's like, I'm a marsupial, bitch. Yeah. I think I want that to be it now.
We got to get you a T-shirt that says that. And then it's like
But
you.
then there's
unlike
so many. It opens the door of like, put it in my pouch and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Do all marsupials have pouches or just kangaroos? Oh, they all do.
Isn't that what makes
Do you
them
know
a
where
marsupial?
Australia is on the map?
I do.
Okay.
Hey.
I have pen pals from Australia.
No, you don't.
I swear to God.
1994 called. That's
No,
sweet.
it's the best.
Well, how did you develop these pen pals? From
Because of my other podcast. And I was like, it would be awesome if somebody wanted to be pen pals, and everybody from Australia wants to be pen pals.
There's nothing else to do.
Aw.
It's awesome. I love it. I never had a pen pal. I always felt jealous for those kids because, you would send a pen pal out, and then I would never get a response, and all the kids in my class would get responses, and I would just like the lonely kid. It'd be like, Greg from Germany he never wrote me back. It's BS. But we're here talking Fifth Element today. Maud, one of your favorites.
Absolutely. This is in my top 5 movies of all time.
Really?
So it's not a guilty movie pleasure, it's a proud movie pleasure.
Okay.
There's a lot of pleasure
Involved
derived from this movie.
When was the first time you saw it?
I actually was thinking about that. I can't remember because when I started watching it, I never really stopped.
Okay.
It's not like that pinnacle moment I was like reflecting back on.
So you didn't see it in the theater?
No, because it came out in 1996.
Yeah.
When I was 10.
97. Sorry, 97. I got.
Really?
Yeah.
97?
Well, maybe. Yeah, 97. Well, it says 97 on IMDb, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
That's
yes.
official.
Then
Yeah.
I was listening to Hanson and Spice Girls then.
Bop.
Bop.
Oh yeah. There it is. But I never really kind of was into sci-fi. My favorite movies before that was The Princess Bride and Willow, and that's set back in time and there's sword fights. What? You're just realizing I'm a nerd. I think this is all just sinking into
Princess
you now.
Bride's awesome though.
Yeah?
I never saw Willow.
Never saw Willow? Oh, we're gonna.
I know.
That's
All my
look
friends
at JT's in the booth dying.
That's right.
Oh my god!
JT, you tweeted that recently, didn't you? I lost it. I loved that. I was like, hashtag not a woman, not a woman.
Well, in the Ultimate Schmodown on Thursday, Willow was one of the questions, not for me, but for Ken, and I wouldn't have gotten it. Because I forgot the name of the actor. It was like, what movie starred the two like main actors in it, and I didn't know the name of the actors. And I've only seen Willow the one time, and I saw it in theaters.
Wow.
But, yeah.
I can actually do the impersonation of that two-headed monster.
Go do it.
Go now. I've never even seen. I don't even know if it's good. I just want to see you do it.
Yeah.
It's not pretty.
Now.
It's not pretty. JT, you might be able to see. You know the one I'm talking about, and it does this, and it blows the fire, and then it gets the sword through the nose and the mouth, and it blows up. Anyway, that's how I make friends.
Is that your Tinder picture? Is that you the evil monster
and if you
from Willow?
can't tell that it's from Willow, then
Yes.
it's like swipe left.
Did you ever have to do that when you were a kid to make friends? Like if you're the new kid in school, oh, you won't let me sit at your lunch table? Watch this.
And then a sword and explosion.
Not bad.
What, mine?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Less in the eyes.
We are off the rails, and I'm loving every second of it. One person in the studio today did see Fifth Element in the theaters, and his name is JTE.
Hey!
Wow.
He's a big fan.
Oh, great movie.
I will say the first time I saw this movie, I was in college, my freshman year, and I'd heard of it, but I never watched it. I'm a huge Bruce Willis fan.
Me too.
And I get there, and these dudes across the hall, they became my good buddies, Brandon and Mike, and they were like, have you ever seen the movie Fifth Element? I'm like, no. They're like, it's about a woman that's perfect. And I was like, let's put it on.
That was my first problem with this, though. Because if she was perfect, she would have had at least C cups. Like, not to be a dick, but like when she started to materialize, everybody's like, she's perfect. I'm like, she's not even Brazilian. The first flaw in that movie.
Maud is floored by that one.
Well, when I heard of The Fifth Element, or when I kind of watched it for the first time, I didn't take away from it that she was the perfect woman.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
She's perfect.
But I took away that this was the perfect sci-fi movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it had everything. It's like the Princess Bride of sci-fi.
Without Andre the
Got
Giant.
everything.
Princess Bride.
Why did it have everything to you? Go.
I think that they really nailed what the futuristic world would be like. I think they did such a good job with the,
You
like,
think that's what the futuristic world is going to look like? 300 years from now, you think that's
Didn't
what
you
the world
notice
is?
we already had technology now 15 years later that was like
better?
Yeah, that was better than what was supposed to be 200 years in the future.
The cell phone is big. That would be considered a big cell phone
yeah,
today.
and they don't have the technology for the computers. I get that. It's like very two-dimensional.
Yeah.
But the things like the apartment layout, I
That
think
was
is
cool.
so great. The weaponry was amazing. The ships were great.
McDonald's.
Yeah, the way that they did McDonald's, absolutely. All of those, but the attention to detail. Like even I love that the apartments would be that small because they're so overpopulated.
Do you ever catch when the president, played by Debo from Friday,
Yeah, Zeus Tiny Lester.
Yeah, Zeus Tiny Lester, that he says, I have 200 billion people to protect.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
200 billion people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they all have to fit on the planet somehow.
Yeah, and going in skyrises is going straight up. Now, here's my always thing with the futuristic world, because I want to believe that everything is possible in the futuristic world.
Yeah.
Like flying cars are definitely something that could
I
happen.
bet we could already do that.
No, we can't, Steve.
Yeah.
The technology is
it's
not
there. Magnets. It's there
Are
somewhere.
I keep thinking the same thing. Everything's got to be magnets to make them fly.
Yeah.
Why aren't we installing magnets everywhere?
Magnets is a repellent, so it would kind of hover, but
Right.
you wouldn't get propulsion from it.
It's like a monorail.
I don't know.
Monorails are magnets.
Let's ask Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla or SpaceX. Wait, no,
I know, I mean
that's what a
Nikola
monorail
Tesla.
is. A monorail is
But it's also
run on.
connected at the top and the bottom. So it
On
like
a-
fits in on the rails.
I
And
Right,
then
right. You're right, but it is a magnetized thing.
but there's propulsion going forward, but you can't go up.
Right. But it's still hovering on magnets.
Right now, at this second, I realize I have the lowest SAT scores ever at this table right now. Smart kids always like science fiction.
Yes. I will say that, like, for me, for this movie, when I was convinced to start watching it, that I did fall in love with Mila Jovovich
Yeah, she's
relatively
great.
quickly, because I do like alty kind of girls.
Mm-hmm.
I like girls, like, I feel like if Mila Jovovich, she would have been in like a punk band. Like if there was Fifth Element 2, she would be like in a punk band at the beginning, and like the punk band was big. I mean, Bruce Willis was their manager. This is just all like dream scenarios for me.
Mm-hmm.
Got some tattoos. Well, she already has the tattoo in her wrist. Do you have that tattoo?
No, but I have worked with a makeup artist, and I saw it on her wrist, and I was like, Fifth Element. She's like, yeah.
You should get that, I think.
No, I've got others.
Yeah. You don't. Do you have any tattoos?
No.
Clean
Steve's
skin.
not I'm not a tattooed guy either.
Because I'm always afraid that I'm going to get wrongly accused of a crime I didn't commit, and I'm going to have to live on the lam. And I don't want any tattoos to...
And this is coming from a guy that hasn't seen a lot of movies, but yet your imagination as far as movies go is that.
Yeah, it's the best.
Goes straight to there. So opening in this movie, I didn't really know what I was getting into, and you immediately get Luke Perry in a temple.
I love that he gets an opening credit as well, and Luke Perry. It's like for all of his
Hysterical.
4 minutes and 2 lines.
And that was 97 was right around the time that 90210 had sort of just ended.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really he was sort of still a superstar, but he had nothing in this movie.
No.
He was just like a punk little guy like Upham in
Aziz Light.
Saving Private Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
And he shoots the nice guy. He shoots those big nice robot guys.
So it's not about Luke Perry at all.
No.
I don't think he deserved an opening credit.
I agree with you. And I don't think Luke Perry should ever be demanding opening credits in such a brilliant movie as The Fifth Element. Are you okay, Steve?
Yeah. It was the first movie I ever saw that made me, like, I remember when I was a little kid and my family would get together and we'd watch movies.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom would just annoy my dad because she didn't know what was going on. And then, now, who's that? Is that the bad guy? And my dad would be like, babe, I know as much as you do. And then he would just, you know what I mean? Now, what's happening? God damn it. You know what I mean? Like, she would just always have questions. And then this was, usually I could figure stuff out, but this had so many different elements being thrown at me. I'm like, wait, which? Hey, all right. Try the veal. But I didn't understand. Like, first there's the priest guy, and then the walls open and the other aliens are there. But then there's bad aliens, and it's got to be 300 years in the future.
Right.
And then there was, like, Gary Oldman, and then there was the other dumb, like, mercenary. Yeah.
Yep.
And then there was the giant ball of fire. There's a lot to keep track of. And
There
then
was
an
a lot of
opera
enemies
singer.
in this. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of different things.
Well, I think if we went, I mean, and then kind of just went through the
Maybe
plot.
somebody could explain stuff to me.
Question.
Because I don't know if I should like it or not. It's
I love it.
It's such a unique movie where it was so fascinating, so cool, and I don't know how I became a nerd, but I love science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if this was good or not. Like, if somebody, I think I could be swayed. Like, if somebody's like, it's the worst movie ever, I'd be like, yeah, Chris Tucker was annoying.
Yeah.
Or if somebody was
brilliant.
Oh no.
He was
I
great.
loved Chris Tucker in this. He was so fucking good.
Great.
Oh, he was great.
That was one thing that didn't work for me at all with this movie was
Really?
the humor.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, that's supposed to be funny.
Oh,
but-
I thought the humor was great. I think that this is the first time they've really
Let
fused
Maud sell you on it,
science
'cause-
fiction and comedy. Like things as funny as, you know, when he's getting the takeaway.
Spaceballs, science fiction and comedy.
No, that's satirical. That's like really tongue in
Slapstick.
cheek. Yeah. This is like clever, witty.
Well, I think the funniest part is that they did have Debo as president, right?
Hysterical.
Right.
See, that went over my head because
Did you ever see Friday?
No.
What?
It was almost like a Friday reunion.
Yeah, it was a Friday.
Friday after next, 200 years in the future.
They get to. I like when they go to futuristic worlds, and you know, it's like 300 years later, which we don't. Do we know at the beginning? Does it say the
Yeah,
date?
it says like 1914 or something.
And then it says 300 years later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be 2214. Is that where we are?
23rd century. Yeah, it'd be like 2214 or
Okay.
something like that.
So basically 200 years from right
From now.
Yeah.
Oh man, can you imagine?
Well,
And-
no, we don't have to because it's there.
No, but is it?
Yeah, I really like
Do you
this
think that's
world.
what the future would be like?
Well, we've seen it
Building
also
Go.
in Star Wars. Sorry, how long did it take John to mention it? I just feel like I have to talk about it. But all those overpopulated cities, it's like the clean air is up the top and down the bottom is Smogsville.
Okay.
And so when you know, the big fair landed in his lap, he had to hide from the police when there was a chase going. So he went down into the smog, and no one goes there because it's like the desolate kind of scum part. I think that's realistic.
Yes. So like below the fog when he says that and they're hanging out in there. So you never, in the futuristic world, you never go to the ground. Like you're never on the floor.
No, it just keeps going up and up.
Oh,
and up.
that's depressing.
Yeah, when you think about it. So they just kept building like higher and higher skyscrapers. And that's why when you look down all the cars.
But then you have these artificial kind of planets like the, what's it called? The Florin.
The floor in paradise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which is completely artificially built. And then they have like a makeshift. You were wincing about this. This
I'm
is like
sorry.
the dream place.
You didn't like the
for
Floor
rich
in
people to
Paradise?
live.
Now I'm starting to realize I didn't like this.
No.
You're not convincing me. You're taking it the other direction.
No, the characters are...
Maud, take it. Come on, you can do this.
Selma.
Where do we even start? Should we break this down into
Yes.
characters?
Let's start. Okay, listen.
Start at the beginning, because I like Egypt stuff. I love aliens. I love UFOs.
Right.
I'm
Me
a
too.
huge, I love conspiracies, and this, to me, they're Santa Claus for grown-ups.
Around the desk, do aliens exist?
Yes. It's almost a mathematical certainty.
We are so
Hundreds of
small.
billions of stars.
Yeah, we are so small
Yeah.
in such a gigantic... Like,
Okay, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe as well.
We are so nothing in the whole scheme of
But
things.
I don't think we can. There's no basically physics has taught us that we can't do space travel and we'll ever meet these people.
Probably not.
Right. Realistically.
But that's
sorry,
based
Steve.
on the technology that we have created as a human race.
Okay.
Who's to say that the same kind of amoeba that decided to evolve into something else under different conditions
Yes.
created different brain matter and then obviously looked nothing like us and therefore was able to create another technology. Maybe they're,
It's a solid pitch.
Yeah.
Come on. It's a solid one.
haven't you seen every other sci-fi freaking
Yes.
movie, man?
Okay. Now, I don't like the aliens, the nice looking aliens. I didn't like them because they were really weird looking. They
The
look
weird
like,
guys?
Yeah, they look like tubas. Right? They look like big brass horns.
Oh,
in
the nice aliens?
Yeah, the nice aliens.
Which ones are the nice aliens?
The
At the
ones that land at
beginning.
the beginning.
In the
That
Oh,
take
yeah,
the
yeah,
stones.
That take the
Do you guys
stones.
want to do the plot so
Yes.
people out there?
Okay.
Yeah, go.
Great. So right at the beginning, we are in a desert area and this...
Egypt.
Is it
I'm in
in
Egypt.
particular?
Yeah,
It is? Okay.
definitely.
Yeah,
Anything with
because at the end of the
hieroglyphics is
movie,
Egypt.
and then at the end of the movie, they land. That's the one time they're on Earth. They're not, because remember they have to be in the sand. to
Yes.
get-
Yes.
Yeah.
So there are hieroglyphics, and we have a professor who is, trying to dust off the message.
Right.
And the message is basically that there's a ball of energy that has the power to destroy the entire planet that comes every 5,000 years. And the only thing that can defend this giant ball of evil is the fifth element. So all four elements and the fifth.
And he's getting this all from cave drawings, which always to me when I would do the hieroglyphics, I always thought that I was trying to get a code, right? And this guy's doing the code and I never understood the code. Hence why I'm not good at crosswords or anything like that. It's anything that
Cuckoo.
Yeah, Sudoku.
Yeah,
That would be like that for me. I would know nothing on how to make that happen. I would look at the drawings and I'm like, dude with arrow?
Yeah. I've got
So nothing, right? So none of
It's
that.
like a squiggly line, and that's supposed
Yeah.
to be the destruction of the earth. And you're like, oh, yeah, I see it now.
It just looks like a microwave. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So then the nice aliens show up, right?
Yes. So during this whole particular time, throughout centuries, the priests are the ones that have this information. So for 5,000 years, it's their job to pass down about the fifth element.
Right.
So they have possession of the stones. But because this is the only weapon that can stop the ball of evil, they have to protect it completely.
Ball of evil being
And-
a relative term. We just don't know.
Well, and then the fifth element being that, because that goes back to what Aristotle or whatever, when he thought the ancients thought that it was earth, fire, wind, and water, and everything else.
And
was,
heart, and they are Captain Planet.
Right, but then the fifth element, I guess the logic behind it is that there's something else to life
There's
that
an
we can't
entity.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, go
Right.
on.
Cool. So, obviously, behind that wall, the reason why the
That was
glyphs
cool.
on there, yep.
When the
Moving wall.
alien opened it, that was neat.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll give
Awesome.
it that. See?
Yeah.
Now, okay.
Okay, see, we're killing
All right,
it
I want
now.
you. Okay. Yeah, that was sweet.
Pyramids open. Whenever a
When
stone
that
wall
key
moves.
yes, I'm a
Come
big
on.
fan of hidden stuff.
Hidden
like in
stuff.
Scooby Doo, when they take a book and the thing would open, I'd be like,
Perfect.
awesome.
All I've ever
I want
wanted
that
in my house.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And then a picture where you can look through the eyes and keep track.
Yeah, definitely. And I
Yes.
want a lever in my fireplace, and the fire, like in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which we were talking about earlier, the fireplace can switch. That's all I want, and it switches, and there's a big documented book library with evil, everything's whatever. I'm
guys
really
getting really
excited.
Snacks. I just want a snack bar in
a
there.
snack bar in there. A nice bartender named Jerry just making cocktails.
Here's a
in my
pretzel,
secret
buddy.
room. Yeah.
Not even cocktails, like brownies and popcorn.
Yeah. So he gets behind the sweet moving stone wall.
Yes, but this alien race that looks like a kind of a
It's a tuba robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, gigantic circle robot.
Yeah,
Kid's,
that's metal.
A kid's science project kind of thing.
Exactly.
It was able to, be animated.
Whoever designed that was just like, ugh, this is
Well,
all we got.
I mean, I can appreciate that they're trying to discover, like we were just saying, how is it that we can all, from a living organism, become and grow, to particular things? Like we look like this. Who's to say that they would not look like
metal circles.
Yeah, it's kinda neat.
Yeah, big metal Cheerios with heads.
Okay, they looked a little cheap, and the waddling that they did, yeah.
Like, how are those guys?
They were real people.
But how are they supposed to protect these stones when they can't really move that fast and they look like really weak?
That's why they hid them. That's brain power.
So you're vouching for these giant circle robots. We'll go with it.
So now there's
They
the
are the
stones,
peacekeepers.
and then they take the stones back with them, right?
So now
that was the purpose
No,
of
they
that
left
first
a
scene.
message.
Yeah.
They were like,
We have to take the stones.
yeah.
But we'll be back. Like,
Because they didn't trust us to protect it anymore.
they're
or
not
something?
safe on
Well,
Earth
Luke
anymore.
Perry bloody shot him with the gun, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then in comes Dylan McKay, all like spiced out, but he's like a real wuss in this. And then he's got that crappy gun, and he's like, "No, you can't do it." Really acting tour de force at that point. I mean, like genius acting. He shoots the sweet, nice robot. Because he goes so slow, the doors are closing, and he crushes, but he gets the key. The key is the important part. So
Yeah.
the priest passes it. So then, boom, smash cut. 300 years later, flying cars, everything's awesome.
We're in the future.
We're in the future, and cuts to that apartment, and boom, it's John McClane. I mean, Bruce Willis. It's not Die Hard. It's Die Hard in the future, because he
Yes.
literally wakes up like at the beginning of every Die Hard, and he's just like scruff, hair's not so best. He's like hungover. There's cigarettes involved,
Now
obviously,
he's blonde.
but now he's got frosted tips.
Okay, even the cigarette part. So this is what I appreciate about The Fifth Element: their attention to detail. The cigarettes had like 3/4 filter, and just like a little bit of this, and it's like you have 4 for today.
Yeah.
Please quit. You're trying to quit.
yeah.
So
Right.
just things like that, where they're allocated 4 cigarettes, and there's like a small amount and a huge filter, like these sorts of things. I'm like, that's clever.
I agree with that.
That's pretty
And
cool.
every
man.
time I smoke a cigarette with a filter, I think about the Fifth Element cigarettes.
I think it's terrible that even in the future you have to smoke cigarettes to be cool. Say no to tobacco, kids.
There you
don't
go.
do
And
tobacco, kids.
saying it, he's trying to quit.
That was a nice thing. And he's always looking for matches, which comes to play at the end. And he's always trying to light up that morning cigarette, get his coffee, whatever.
Yeah, maybe the cigarette's actually really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the key to the unlocking.
It's a little wormhole that we
It's
have
not
to
a
go down,
habit.
Steve. Yes.
It is a clue.
And so he also lives in those apartments, which I like, are kind of like how I imagine
Love the
Japanese apartments now. Like, because
Yeah.
they're always like Japanese hotels where they put you. Remember that Seinfeld when they put him in all his Japanese friends come to visit, and he puts them in the dresser, so the Japanese guys are like sleeping in drawers. Do you remember
That's
that?
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's what I imagine Japanese hotels would be like. They put them in these like little safe rooms, and everything's just compact in these places.
But it's such a clever use of space. So even looking at this from an architectural point of view, right?
That's too big of a
Yeah.
word for Steve.
Interior design point of view. So you've got the fridge, and the fridge will lower, so your shower is there. And
Yeah.
the shower goes up, self-cleans, so then you have the fridge again. So that's one use of the wall space. Do you
Yeah.
get me? Now the bed also sucks back into the wall, and there's 2 beds on top of each other.
Yeah.
So that when one's cleaning, you can use the other one. It's so clever with that as
Yeah.
well.
Steve's
all right.
The
We're
use
going.
of
We're
the
getting
2
there.
circles of the hands, like that's as
Yeah, I
a
didn't get that
screening
part.
process. That's
So
just
that's
a
your
safety
hands.
thing,
Yeah.
because obviously there's like the police
They need you to
brutality
get
of
But when the
force.
okay,
Now, here's the.
So defeated.
yeah.
We'll get him there. We'll get him there.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed this movie. I
Okay.
like this movie.
Now, okay, here's a fun fact as well. I think that a great part of this movie, and maybe this is why you won't appreciate it so much, but it's the costume design.
Oh yeah, I don't like that at all.
Really, I
The
thought
cops'
it was
uniforms were really bad.
the cops'
They
uniforms.
look like Judge Dredd, but on Halloween, like cheap Halloween costumes.
But this is like a 1997's perspective of a futuristic look.
Did this come out before or after Demolition Man? Because Demolition Man kind of had like the same kind of look for the uniforms. I could look it up, but after. Thanks, JT. Yeah, you come in.
But
big
with-
squeeze back there.
With the costume part of it, what's fascinating, what's really cool
Go.
for a girl who studied fashion for 6 months before dropping out because I learned to make boxer shorts, is that Jean Paul Gaultier did all the costumes.
Get out of here.
Exactly.
I wear his cologne sometimes when I want to impress the ladies.
So it was him. He's
So
like this
never.
fashion designer, a very, very big...
Famous one, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it did look like an En Vogue music video. I mean, that's like very fashion-y to fashion to be fashion, but they weren't like functional uniforms.
No, even something as simple as what Corbin Dallas was wearing.
Yeah.
You know, like the skin tight orange with the panels at the back.
That's awful. That shirt is terrible.
Yeah, now in 2014, but in 200 years' time, that's something that they could be wearing.
I like your foresight. You're feeling it. You're feeling
Yeah,
it.
you like
I
it.
loved the look of it.
So now-
loved the
I
look
could
of
see
this
that
movie.
if you're like nerdy and you like science fiction and fashion. This okay.
Yeah.
And there's what I did like. There was a female hero.
Right.
We'll get to that. I thought
Right.
that was good. For
Women in
little
film.
kids.
Awesome.
The other women in the movie where you had Corbin's mum, who you could only hear the voice.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
That
There it
part I
is.
really
She
liked.
was
Yeah,
great.
What, are you too busy to pick up your phone and
Is
call
that
your
was your mom or my mom doing the
Yeah.
same kind of thing? You
But
never
the fact
call.
that the mum kept finding him.
Adorable.
Rang, yeah.
Yeah. I like that
Rang the
part.
general. It's
Right,
like,
the general and the
appears to
president.
be Corbin's mother. Like, you know, that was
Good
great.
punch.
Yeah.
But so he's a taxi driver, obviously. I mean, like, he's down on his luck. It's Bruce Willis. Every time he is a hero in a movie, it starts with him being down on his luck.
Yeah.
He's never like put
But he's
together
like
and shows up in a
skilled
suit.
out the wazoo.
Of course.
He's like down on his luck, but he's already saved the world and all of his
Multiple times.
department of what are they called? Like your team, your
J-
Yeah, it was just special forces.
Yeah.
like
exactly.
basically a Green Beret in the future.
yeah. This guy
Yeah.
would have been having training for like 25 years, and now he's down on his luck.
But he's only has 5 points left on his license.
Yeah, I
we don't know the
understand
point
that.
system.
Yeah, I don't understand the point system.
the
And who was
future-
the person that called him?
That's his boss, the guy that owns the cab company. I
No, but
think.
remember somebody was like, "We have to meet tonight." Was that his
like
boss?
his buddy, I think. His buddy that was talking about his wife. 'cause,
Oh,
like, his
because I
wife
thought his
left
buddy
him.
was going to try to recruit him for a mission, but then when he gets recruited with the
Yeah.
Okay, go on, explain it to me again.
Well,
Keep
I think it was like more of his buddy was trying to recruit him to something because he he knew that Corbin Dallas wasn't feeling the best because his wife had just left him. He only loves one woman.
Got him a job
Yeah.
as a cab driver. Hey, you know, this will get you out of a bad situation.
But
Heard you've
because
only got
Corbin
5
Dallas,
points, so-
Corbin Dallas lives by his own set of rules.
Yeah.
Right. So he can't really work for the man.
Hold on. Corbin Dallas in itself is one of the best names of a hero we've ever had.
It is a pretty sweet
Can we just
name.
shine a little bit
Come
of light on that?
No, you don't like the name Corbin Dallas?
Corbin Dallas?
It's great, dude.
Corbin's a great name.
Cor-
Would you ever be intimidated if I got? Oh fuck! Shut up. Here comes Corbin.
No,
Oh, come on, dude.
but Corbin Dallas, dude,
Great name.
That's a pro wrestler's name right
That's
there.
a hero
Corbin
status name.
Dallas is a pro wrestler's name. If you put it in that
Did you know what?
context,
This honestly, this movie, I've never experienced anything like this where it's like right in the middle. It's like that Seinfeld episode, Even Steven,
Even
where I'm like,
Steven.
it's Corbin, it's all right.
yeah, no, Corbin
Like on a
Dallas,
scale of 1 to 10, this
classic.
movie's a 5.
Okay, well,
right?
Yes.
we'll agree. And Leeloo,
I'm at a
great
5.
Leeloo, great name.
Name. Great name. These are great names.
Now, at one point here, we see that the nice aliens are getting their ship destroyed.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
they fly into they get.
Oh, okay, because it is 300 years later and the big ball of evil is about to come down, so they need to deliver the stones and the fifth element to Earth.
Right.
Now, these mercenaries, the
the
guys...
warthog kind of dude look like
Yeah.
gargoyles. To
Yeah,
a
they
certain
look like the
extent.
cartoons that like you see in commercials for like what's on the inside of your toilet.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like and you spray. You know what I mean? Like that's what it. That's
The
what it
scrubbing
looked like.
bubbles come. Corbin Dallas is a scrubbing bubble to get rid of the
Exactly.
toilet scum.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like the
or those Mucinex
yeah, I was
commercials.
gonna say the
Yeah.
stuff under your fingernail, like the
Yeah, yeah.
toenail. Like, those guys
Oh,
are great.
no.
Yeah, it's exactly what they are.
That's true.
And then these guys somehow develop like they have limited English skills.
Yeah.
But they, as the movie goes on, they have better ones. 'Cause maybe the leader speaks the most English to a
Okay.
certain extent. I don't know. They destroy it. They think they get the stones, and
But they destroy it because they're obviously mercenaries. So who's
Yeah.
paying them to do that? Zorg is.
Okay.
Zorg has a direct communication with Ball of Evil.
Right.
They have been talking. Ball of Evil is like, I need you to destroy the one thing that can end me.
And Ball of Evil is like the eye in is Sauron.
There you
it's
go.
like
Yeah.
it's because
The
it's just an
all-being,
all-seeing eye,
all-seeing.
but this is an all evil ball of planet fire.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't kill it. You can't fire things at it because it...
Well, evil
absorbs.
creates. I thought that was interesting. Like
Yes.
thematically, I like that at the beginning when it was the priest giving contradictory advice to that of the generals.
Yes.
Yes.
And he was like, if you fight evil with evil, it's just going to make more evil. And I
Yes.
was like, okay, I get it. I
Get
can get
it.
on board with that.
Right.
Did you kind of feel like you wanted to help someone?
I
after
always,
that?
yeah, always.
Steve's a helpful guy.
Okay.
Yes. So evil begets evil. They realize that they can't defeat this thing, but it's like it's coming, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they fire on it and it makes it bigger and more eviler.
Yeah,
They're
that's
like,
it.
oh crap.
So the priest is like, there is the ship coming, and I know because I'm the priest that's passed down the information. They are delivering the thing that will help us.
Yeah.
It gets blown up.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Right? So they goes, well, that's it. We are doomed.
We're
Bad
doomed.
news.
Now we gotta make a special thing here.
Yeah.
So somehow, by the way, the priest's name is Vito Cornelius.
Yes.
Cornelius.
Yukon Cornelius. Remember from Rudolph the Red-Nosed
It's
Reindeer?
like Vito Corleone, but
Yeah.
then it's like a play on Vito Cornelius.
Who's
Come
Vito
on.
Corleone?
What?
The Godfather.
The Godfather.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Oh my, that explains everything. Now that's a great movie.
I've just never seen that one.
Oh yeah, that's a real movie. It's
We've
great.
spoken about my taste in movies, and I've
Oh
mentioned
my
The Princess
God.
Bride and The Fifth Element. Where would The Godfather sit in that?
I don't know, Maud, but that is disappointing.
I have actually just discovered, though, now you know what I feel when someone that I meet hasn't seen Star Wars.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
that reaction.
yeah, that's fine. We'll give it to you.
Yeah.
You should watch The Godfather, though. Just the first one.
Okay, maybe I'll watch The Godfather.
That's not even close.
Okay,
but-
well, I haven't seen it, so I have no idea.
So Vito Corleone's comes in, and Cornelius. Vito Cornelius. We haven't got to you to do the impression yet. You're
No.
gonna get there.
We'll
You're
get
gonna
there.
have your time for sure. And so he's like, but they basically bring him in because he's some expert in this, and they bring him in to talk
Yes.
about it. He's like, let me give you a thing, yada yada yada, and he tells a story. They're all like, get out of here, old man, you idiot, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
We're the
then,
military. We know what's right.
right,
Yep.
always, the military. Am I right?
So we've got to the part where the thing that's going to save them has just been blown up.
Right.
And that's from Zorg's orders.
Right.
Okay.
Played by a weird-looking Phantom of the Opera head style of, because he's got that clear head like
I
Phantom of the
was
Opera.
embarrassed for Gary Oldman.
This is awful.
He was like, oh fuck, I gotta wear that.
Did Jumpo Goatee? Did he
I think he
design the
would have
head
designed
wig?
that. Yeah, I think he
Oh
would
my
have.
God.
I assume he would have.
Brutal.
Bro, from Drexel and True Romance, probably around the same time this movie got made.
Yeah, yeah.
From Drexel and True Romance to this fucking
This
moron.
weirdo.
Okay,
Go.
just before you guys bag out Gary Oldman, I should probably let you know that he married my second cousin, so we're technically family. So just maybe keep them in.
What?
Dude,
I'm not-
I asked him. He's an amazing actor.
he
I
might
was
be
just
one of
saying,
like the
There
greatest actor of all time.
yeah,
He's
that's why I just gave him
incredible.
a shout out for True Romance, where
Yeah.
he killed it
Sid Vicious
as Drexel.
I mean, he's incredible. But this one, I don't know. This was a paycheck.
No,
movie.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
He had very
he was like,
Prominent.
how much are they paying me? for
Yeah.
this?"
Zorg.
And he had the flavor saver. I don't care what you are. You have a flavor saver, you're an evil person in a movie. You're either a douche from Orange County or you're an evil person in a movie. That's just all I gotta say.
Or like hip dad.
yeah. Dad.
You know, they got
still got
recently
it.
divorced with like that diners, drive-in, dive jewelry.
Yeah,
like
I was
band
gonna
rings,
say,
hey
like
kids,
a big chain and a
is
ring.
that your babysitter? I'll be right back.
and he's got the Corbin Dallas haircut. He got it frosted tips because that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like this movie. The more we're reliving it, I'm like,
See,
just
I'm
off.
on board. I love this movie.
Okay, so let's get to the part
I
which
love
I
it.
think is one of the best
Okay, go
parts
ahead.
of the movie.
Go.
So they've
Okay.
salvaged the wreck, and
Yes.
all they've found is, what the encrypted tomb where the fifth element lies, right? And that is an arm. Now they take her into this science lab, and they reconstruct her.
That's
from,
awesome
neat.
when they go. It was
They
like
reconstruct her
stitching.
just from
Yeah.
some of the particles and
yeah, that was
the
neat.
DNA.
All the
that they
DNA,
have.
the dense DNA compared
Yeah.
to what we had.
Yeah.
And the guy who understands like body and the
science nerd
genetics,
guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
the fact that he was geeking out so hard on her made us excited. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, we're
Yeah.
hearing about this man, right? We don't know it's a chick.
And
yet.
he's like a professional, so if he's excited, it's got to be something awesome.
he's losing it, and then when it's like, this is what DNA looks like, this is what they've got, and you're like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that was cool.
Yeah.
And then they've got the arm.
Because I didn't know it was an arm at first. I thought it was like a little baby robot or
Yeah,
a dick.
I
Like,
thought it
it
was
looked
a
like,
cricket.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
look, that's exactly. I was like, is it a cricket? Is it a
Or
cockroach?
like in Egypt, they had those scarabs that they always
Yeah.
got the fossil of. It looked like a scarab
that
too.
was, yeah. In fairness, that did not clearly look like an arm, but
No.
then when they were starting to build on it,
Yeah, that was neat.
That was really cool.
Really
and that's
cool.
something that I got excited about with the future.
Yeah.
It's like, I want us to be able to work towards that technology.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And when it was like the sinew, when it was like doing
Sort of
the,
like in Starship Troopers when he gets rebuilt. Remember?
yeah,
That stuff's neat.
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's really cool. And then and then you kind of from behind you see some side nipple when they finally get to her body, and then they put the thermal bands on.
Yes.
So there's and for me,
Yeah.
if there's a little bit of nudity in the movie, it obviously makes a little it adds to it.
and so
Yeah.
offensive. You sounded offended when they weren't C-cup boobs.
I was joking.
Okay.
I was
Sort of.
Yeah, but I was like
It's quite a
perfect,
nice body.
really.
It's quite a perfect body when
It's
you
quite
look
a
at
nice
it.
Almost.
body.
Yes.
It's
quite a
not.
nice
It's
body.
great. But
Depending
it's not
on
perfect.
depending
That's
on
all
your
I'm saying.
nationality, Italians seem to really prefer boobs on women. So
Why not?
It is what it is. So now she's in this thing, and then the general's like, "Is that thing whatever?"
And he
class?"
treats it dumb. You've just had
Yeah.
a scientist say this is perfect.
Yeah.
Like if the only word to describe this is perfection.
Yeah.
And then the general's like, you need to work on your communication
Yeah.
skills if you want to get out. And, then
then she-
shows the pass.
No, you guys don't watch
She's
golf.
calculated.
But there's a golfer named Keegan Bradley, and when he looks at putts, he goes like. He does like a weird look at it. So that's what Mila Jovovich does. She like
She did
stares
more
into
of
his
a-
soul. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
a pouncing cat.
Yes.
And then just through the glass and like knocks him out.
Yeah, that was pretty
That's
cool.
Yeah.
Pretty badass.
And that's when you're like,
Oh, she's
not
cool.
only is she a woman,
Yeah.
and the perfect being is a woman,
Sure.
but she kicks ass.
Serious.
Yeah, I
ass.
liked all that stuff.
The
And that's when I realized that Miller was a really great actress. When she's
Yeah.
in that kind of the tube and she can't get out, and she's like kind of getting her surroundings. She's like scattering all
Yeah.
around. I thought
a
she
very
did
good one-person performance when you think about it,
She
because
did a great
she didn't really have to talk much, and then she learns English, and it was. Come on, dude, that was a pretty good acting performance.
Well, what I was impressed with was because I was like trying to figure out the movie, so I did a little. That's a real language. That
What she was saying?
Her and the director developed. And they were
Yes.
talking that back and forth.
Yeah.
And then of course the director left his wife for her.
I didn't know that.
Whoa, I didn't either. Really?
Yeah, because his wife at the time of the movie was the opera singer chick.
Yes, I did know that.
And then he was like, later, move over, bacon. There's something leaner, sizzling. Like he just.
But the wife was not supposed to play that role in it. That's another fun fact that I had.
Because she was probably like, who you shooting a movie with? Oh, I'm going to be on set.
There's a woman that's perfect. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we need someone who's going to be like 8 feet tall who's blue. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I will do it. I will do it.
And I've got my eye on you.
Yeah.
Just so I can be there in the final scene. And she dives, so she fights everybody, and then she runs and dives through what looks like old popcorn.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Yeah. And then
All that stuff was neat.
lands in, and then she's like, is on the ledge, and then she lands in Willis's cab, right?
Yes,
Like they're
a big
chasing her
fare-
down.
A big fare dropped in his lap.
Right. And I don't know.
Yeah, it was all those jokes that I was like, man.
Oh, love it.
But I'm pretty sure that the cabs in the future are a lot thinner, because if you were to fall
Through, well, that's the thing. It's like,
Fall
what
through
is she
metal?
made of then?
Yes.
But we just saw her get made, so we technically know that it's all skin and bone and.
she's a normal human being, like it's sort
She's
of,
not.
but
She's got 200 strands of the DNA that.
yeah,
we
but
only
that
have-
doesn't make her like, because she still bleeds and is shot,
Yes.
so that doesn't mean
Yeah,
that she
I
can
don't
fall
understand
through a
that
cab.
stuff. Yeah.
Right?
I think she's more resilient.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that to fall through metal on a cab, unless the cab is made of like waffles.
Yeah, tin
okay?
foil.
Tin
She
foil.
just dove through the wall.
The popcorn.
Maybe that's what everything's made out of. It's like a biodegradable material because it's the future.
Oh, okay. Maud sold it there. There we go.
There you go.
Now he's got to like take care of her, and they're like searching for
But
her.
she's freaking out in the
She's-
cab.
yeah,
So she gets in the cab and she's all,
Yeah.
you ready?
Go.
But I thought about it, but I don't so good. I thought after the right of a secretary, nor about hard for and the bad boom, boom, big bad boom.
Maud!
That was impressive.
And then there's Maud! That was very, very good. Can you do the multipass real quick?
Well, that's. When
We'll
we get to that
okay,
part of the
fine.
movie, I'll rush it.
So now they're all like hanging out, and she knows that she has to get to like Cornelius
But
or
he does
whoever.
that thing where he's like, what is going on? Boom, dream girl.
Yeah.
That look,
Yeah.
that gaze. He's fallen. Mm-hmm. Though technically she fell. Meow.
Metaphor.
Juxtaposition. Well done. So now he's got her, and they are like avoiding the cops, and they have to go to Cornelius, and like Cornelius.
But she asks for help. Please help. And he's like, I've got a babe. She's so unusual. She's so different. I'm heartbroken.
Total rocker alt chick.
He got down to 1 point on the license because
You've had an accident.
Mm.
You
now have. He's like, yeah, right. So there's nothing going for him.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
got nothing to lose.
Yes.
And now he's got a chick to gain.
Yes.
Who needs help. So this is like the police are there, and he's got the wits, and he can get out of any situation really.
Yeah, he's
so
a badass.
He chooses the girl.
It's Willis. I mean, he's a badass. And then now where it's like, now he's even more John McClane, because he's got to rescue the girl. He's got a girl in his arms.
Rescue the girl. How about rescue life? Time's not
The
important.
world.
Life is important.
Yes.
I actually do like the fact that you kind of like from his perspective, she is very
The world.
weak, and and he needs to care for her, and then she's kind of like, no, I've got this.
Well, that was my favorite line in the movie, where she says that to him, where she was like, "Don't worry, I'll protect you." And he was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And she was a
You'll
best.
sleep.
When she did kung fu on those dudes, that was
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
the
yeah.
whole thing. I feel like we could. So we're here, the Cornelius thing. Now we realize that Zorg is paying these guys to get these stones. The stones don't come. The stones are supposedly going to be on this thing. They get Corbin to get to this thing. Let's get to the point where now they're like
They go on the
working.
But even
radio
like a
com-
subtlety that I want to bring up, like
Yeah.
someone's like, Zorg, we've been told that we need to fire 500,000 cab drivers, or like we need to do a big
Yeah.
firing.
Yeah.
And he's like, fire a million of them.
He's just-
doesn't
Yeah,
like,
it's just
"So,
mean.
we don't need to.
and he's like an arms dealer, right?
He's got those.
Yeah.
Sweet,
And
that
does he
sweet
want the
gun.
stone so he can destroy them? So Earth
No,
gets
because he's getting
destroyed
paid.
by the evil planet
Yes,
force.
which is why it's like my fees have tripled.
Money is no object.
There it is.
Yeah, that was
So
interesting.
he's fueled by greed.
Right.
Yeah, and in a weird way, he thought he was doing the right thing.
No.
Remember that? Remember that where he said, "No, I'm in the life business too," because he was like, essentially, because he's a war
Oh,
profiteer.
yes.
Yeah.
When he was like, "No, this by destruction,
Destruction
yeah,
creates.
yeah, creates I think he said it makes creation. Like after you destroy, then you build up. You destroy and you build up.
Yeah.
I just kept looking at it. Look like when you get those chocolate donuts, like the chocolate dusted, the chocolate dusted like ice balls, and then you like get the powder off, and inside is like a gooey thing. That's what that planet always looked like to me.
One of those.
You never had it? I think they're called tartufo. Have you ever had tartufo?
Does
It's
it
an
look
Italian
like
thing?
a fundamental?
No, but that's what the planet looked like. So it was like dusted chocolate, and then you dig in, and then there's like a gooey ice cream center.
The evil planet thing.
Yeah, that's
what that was. Okay.
It didn't look threatening to me because it looked like a dessert.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, how does a planet pay a man? I don't know that as
He
well.
doesn't
But
even have arms to hand.
yeah, money. There's no people.
But that's the thing. Like this guy's like, I need your help, and he's like, "It'll cost you." He's like, "Yeah, sure."
Whatever
Because I'm going
you
to
want.
kill everything anyway. So
What
he
do
just
I
says,
care?
"Yeah, sure."
So now they've arranged for them to meet the diva for the rocks, and the priest is trying to get.
Hold on, you've skipped a lot ahead.
We're running out of time.
Yeah, we're
okay.
cutting time here.
Oh,
we
right.
only have about 8 minutes to go, so we got to get to the parts.
And you guys still have to give it. I'm starting to think there's too many elements in the Fifth Element. Like there's just too
8
many
elements.
storylines, too many
But
things
they
coming
all
together.
work. There's
Yeah.
no kind of loopholes or things that don't really get tied together. The whole thing kind of it all works. Everything has a purpose.
I agree. It does work. It's tied up really well. The only Corbin Dallas wins this trip. They're like keep talking about this thing, and he has to
Which
get
has
this
been
island.
staged by the military government because he's the only person suitable to save the world
To save the world.
and retrieve the stones.
Exactly. And
Yes.
this is when we first meet Chris Rock, and he's this awesome flamboyant Chris Tucker, sorry.
Yes.
This awesome flamboyant.
Ruby Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atrocious.
And I liked him.
love
in it.
it.
Dude, it's so
think
funny.
His hair looked like Cubert.
Yeah, it did
You
like
know,
a
he
Cuber.
looked
Yeah, like a
Cuber
Come
quirk.
on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
I relate to him because he's a radio presenter.
Yeah.
From 5 till 7.
Yeah, the greatest show he's ever done.
Yeah.
And so he gets that thing, and everybody's trying to be Corbin Dallas at like the check-in, and the girls that play the airline people are perfect. Like
right.
So hot.
futuristic. Oh, so
Yeah.
hot.
That's one thing I think that
Doug.
will be in the future.
Yes.
Chicks will
But even the
be hotter.
technology of we're going to sleep now. Clunk out.
Done.
Right. That's cool.
That is
So
cool.
now they get to this floating ship in the middle of an ocean, but we don't see. I don't know if there's any beaches there. It's just ocean, and they're on a floating ship,
Yes.
right? So we just that's the
But
paradise.
it's like the futuristic equivalent of a cruise ship.
Okay, got
Yep.
it. So they get there and they realize that everybody is now converging. The Zorg is converging. Those monsters are
Zorg
converging.
has burnt the mercenaries by blowing up all those guys because they didn't bring the stones in the first place.
Right,
So
with the
then
red
they're
button
at
on the
war.
gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now they're at war. Zorg needs to answer to Ball of
the
Evil.
tartufo, the chocolate dessert.
Yeah, and then you've got the priest that's on there as well, who doesn't think that anyone else can do the job because doesn't know
Right.
that Corbin Dallas is also employed by the government. They're all coming together.
Right,
for
they're
the
all
same
fighting for the
thing.
same thing. And if you notice, Corbin Dallas and Zorg never actually talked or met in the entire movie.
Really?
No, not once did they have an interaction. Both fighting for the same thing, never actually crossed paths at all. Nobody knew about Corbin Dallas, and Corbin Dallas didn't know about Zorg. Just that he had to get these stones, and that people were attacking him. He was more at war with the warthog-looking guys than anything.
It was just funny because technically Zorg fired Corbin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's the only interaction they really had was the cab driver. So now they're in this thing, and they got to get the stones. The diva supposedly has the stones in her thing.
This is my weak part of the movie. This is one part I did not like. I thought that the singing operatic part took a little bit too long. At the start, it's like, I get it, you're singing. Oh,
And then she does like a hip-hop opera. Yeah,
That. What
that's
was that?
weird.
I did not like that at all. It took away from
I
everything.
didn't like the look of her either. It was kind of weird.
She was Star Wars-ish.
Yeah, she's very Star Wars.
Creature
I
Cantina.
didn't mind it. She
Come
looks
on,
a bit
yeah.
Twilight.
And what I liked about that scene was the beauty of emotion. And that's what I thought that was. Like, because Bruce Willis is almost moved to tears. And when you hear a beautiful piece of music, opera or classical music, something that's timeless, it's not the words, it's not it affects how you feel. And I was like, okay, that's what they're trying to save. That humanity, that emotion.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought the Fifth Element
discussed-
and then
real-
it
real deep
triggered
here.
the montage.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And then boom, now we're in like an all-out war with the warthogs and
And that
Willis.
scene, that next 15 minutes was like really cool.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. Then it
That's
turned
when the
into
Fifth
Die
Element
Hard.
was like unleashed. Well, the extent of how great she is as a warrior.
Yeah. That was awesome.
She starts
okay,
hitting
you guys.
some ass,
Okay, yeah,
right?
we're going into the
and now
likes
Zorg
part.
starts lighting her up with that amazing gun that shoots everything.
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
That
As
is a
it
cool
mows.
gun.
That
When
is
he
a really
picked it up,
cool
it
gun.
looked so light
Yeah.
and comfortable. And it's a flamethrower. It will ice you.
Bombs.
A net.
Every gun.
Yeah, well, that's what I didn't buy though.
bombs.
Like in the future, they're not gonna have weapons like that. It'll just be like, boom, and
Well,
then
I think in the future,
DNA will just fall apart.
there needs to be more lasers. in
Yeah,
the
I could
future.
understand there were still bullets.
Yeah.
Like when the NYPD was chasing them and they opened up with bullets, I'm like, come on. Bro.
Yeah, I feel like it would be more lasers, but maybe
Lasers.
because more lasers. So now there's the awesome shootout, and this is where they blow up everything, and there's the Chris Rock scream or Chris Tucker screaming.
He
and
screams 2 notes at once.
Like, I can't do it.
It's
Cobster, our
incredible.
associate producer, wanted me to scream it. I can't do it.
I bet Maud can.
Maud, can you scream
I don't know
it?
if I can go that high, but it's incredible how he does it.
That's pretty good.
That's the height of it, but he has another lower
Yeah.
note at the same time.
Maybe that's Chris Rock. I mean,
Good Lord, just call him Chris.
Chris Tucker, his
Mother
MO is that he has that crazy loud voice that has those inflections to it. Why he made a career out of that one character. Yeah. So now
Simple grain.
he's constantly recording the radio show
Yeah.
while he's in the midst of
And
a
the president
firefight.
is listening to it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what was going on.
That's how
Right.
the president's getting the comm.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't
Yeah.
understand that. I was
Yeah.
like, is he an
Listening to
agent?
everything.
We find out that the stones are inside the diva, so Bruce
Yes.
Willis has to
Now
pull
he's
the
got the
stones out, and they're
stones.
covered in the blue
The
blood.
Fifth
and
Element shot. The dead lady. It ain't over to the fact. The dead lady tells him that she needs your love.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that was interesting, but I still didn't understand. Like, if she was perfect and she understood everything, why wouldn't she understand love?
Yeah.
And then my favorite scene that I thought was interesting was when she's doing her research on the spaceship
On
the war.
on war and how that depressed her.
Right.
Yeah, and she was like, well, why would I save this planet when
Right.
you were so fueled by war?
Right.
And I know what war is, but I don't really know what love is because I've never had it.
Right.
That's a line to get hunka-punka.
Well done.
I want to
didn't know
know what
this.
love is.
I want you to show me.
I want to know. So they get to the temple and they realize they don't know how to work the rocks. And
Yeah,
this
this
is
is a fun part.
This is a really good part because the first time you watch it, you don't know how it works.
All right, so the whole movie, there's all this stuff. There's the big giant ball, and what I love is that we have this ticking time clock. All the experts say
Warthogs
Earth
are
has
done.
7.
Sword
Warthogs
blew
are done.
up.
Gary Altman's done. Now this giant ball of evil still coming towards Earth. They
Yes.
finally have the stones. They have the Fifth Element, which is like the hottest chick ever. Now they have to go back to like Egypt in the middle of this ancient hieroglyphic wall. Use the key the priest has to get into the secret room
they're still-
where you place all the stones on the floor. You have Earth, wind, fire, water, hot chick in the middle, the Fifth Element. Now they need the stones need to open up. She's dying and she's like, wind blows.
Are
And
you
Bruce Willis
seeing
is like,
how
I wish.
excited?
Bruce Willis is like, I wish she would blow. No. So then that
You're
was
really
interesting.
into this.
Well, that was the best part. We're running out of time and I got to take you guys there because you guys are walking down the beach having a hand. This is it. This is the cool part. The whole movie. And because we're on a time clock. And what I don't
Gotcha.
understand about all these movies is nobody can get their shit done until the last seconds are ticking.
Yes.
Like Flash Gordon, Fifth Element. Everything's always the last second.
Yep.
But then the assistant priest, the young priest, is like, we're all doomed. Boom. It's a stone. And then they realize, oh, wind blows. Blow on the wind. Light fire on the fire. Smoking cigarette. Dirt on this.
But he has
water.
one match left, and it's the dramatic. The wind blows and it could blow
Right.
out the match.
But then it's still not working because Bruce Willis has to make out with the hot chick. Very
She doesn't
similar.
wanna do
and
it.
you know, it was interesting because at the very beginning, when he first sees her, he kisses her when she's passed out in a kind of creepy way.
Yeah.
But, right? But
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. And then what does this mean? Oh, it means never without my permission. So it was like they flipped that Sleeping Beauty tale where the Prince Charming has to kiss her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like, no, in the future it has to be mutual, that a chick can save a dude and a dude can save a chick, but together they can save Earth.
Right.
And that's what I liked. Because that's what
and
happens.
boom, all the things collide, and she opens her mouth and it shoots and it kills.
Yeah, that
and
was
it,
awesome.
It stops the chocolate dessert. It turns it into a solid ball of ice cream, and the whole world is saved. And then it cuts to the end, and they're all like in that tube room where she
Yeah.
was first created, and they're like,
I
"Oh,
hated
let's
the song.
rescue." Yeah, the song
The
was
song
very
was
good.
terrible for that.
We cut, and they're in there just hooking up in a tube, basically in an MRI machine. They're banging it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they would have ended the movie with like a Chicago song. I am a man who will fight. Something like that.
Yes,
That would have been
just
better.
gone crazy back. And
I
there
guess
we
it
are.
was all right.
All right, if you
I'd
were gonna,
watch it again.
fine. We'll do it on a schmo scale. We haven't rated a movie in a while, but since this one, obviously you crushed Labyrinth, but you sort of like this one out of 5.
I like this way more than Labyrinth.
Okay,
1,000
really
times
like
more.
the Labyrinth.
Yeah, of course you do.
Okay, if you were going to give this a score out of 5, what would you give this?
3?
3.
That's better than average.
And then there's
Yeah.
more. What would you give it?
Because I just thought of
5.
the end.
5.
Yeah, it's a clear 5 for me.
I'm like a solid 3.8. Trending towards a 3.9, maybe.
I didn't know you could do points.
Yeah, you can do
So I'd be
points.
between a 2.5 and a 3. Somewhere
Okay.
in there.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a little bit better. Yeah. Like
Would you watch it again?
It was interesting.
If it was on TV, would you like stop?
No,
and
my
watch it?
time's too valuable.
Did you laugh at all out loud? You didn't
not
have a
once. I'm a tough laugh though.
You are a tough laugh.
You make me laugh.
Oh man! Listen, I love this movie. Maud, thank you so much for coming
Maud, thank you
on
for
the
hanging
show
out.
and trying to convince Steve that this was great.
It was pretty
even need
good.
to
You know what?
convince-
Maybe I'd watch it again.
Okay. See,
I like science fiction.
You did your job. We got there.
I like the themes of this movie. It was such thematically, I loved it. Like I love aliens and ancient Egypt and tying all that stuff together.
Yes.
I watch those like Discovery Channel shows all the time.
course.
It's like to me the ancient aliens with the guy with the hair, George Sakalakalus or whatever. The Anunnaki came, and I'm like, no, they didn't, but I want to believe anyway. I want to believe anyway.
Schmoville, don't think that Steve didn't like this movie because he did. He's going to go back and start thinking about it. That's
yeah,
what
I
always
liked it.
happens.
Like I liked it way more than Labyrinth, but I liked it
What
way
about when
less than
she's-
Taken. How about that?
When she's hungry and
good
she
go.
puts in nothing and then
Chicken. In the future, you can microwave a bullet into a full chicken dinner.
It was a
which
roast
gets
chicken.
Gets me excited
That was
about
the
something
best part.
possible. I will say, I think Fifth Element of the future looks like this. I'd be pretty excited if that's what the Earth looked like in 200 years from right now. I would be pretty excited about it. Flying cars, big buildings, maybe not the fog part and like the dirtiness of
it's
it.
going to
but
happen though.
Yeah, pollution.
We're destroying our planet.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, don't say that. We can change it.
We can change. Okay?
We can.
Well, thank you guys as always for watching Guilty Movie Pleasures. We're going to share the links. Hopefully the iTunes will be fixed. Watch Maud on Jedi Alliance with our buddy Ken Napsok.
And guys, I have a new CD coming out. It's going to be up on iTunes. It's called Remember This. And I
When's
did
that
it.
coming out?
It's going to be October 27th, I think.
So pre-order.
Yeah,
on
pre-order
our
it next
iTunes,
week.
Whatever. Go see. Are you on the road coming?
Yeah,
soon?
when Chicago this weekend at the Improv, and then I'm going to be I'm doing shows for the Navy next week in DC.
Nice.
All right.
Awesome stuff. At Josh Macuga, at Steve Simeone, at Maud Garrett. Thank you guys always for watching. We'll see you next time.
From producers Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, and the entire Schmoes Know Network crew, we would like to thank you for listening to Guilty Movie Pleasures. What's your pleasure? Special thanks to Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, the author of Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness, in stores now. To watch or listen to other Guilty Pleasure movie episodes or other episodes of the Schmoes Know Network shows, get movie news, or to join the conversation, be sure to visit schmoesknow.com. I'm the Pit Boss, and this has been a presentation of the Schmoes Know Network.